From Working Title Headquarters in Baltimore, Maryland, it's ITRS with Jordan BDJ Taylor. Tonight's guest, singer and songwriter D. Shay, and singer, author, and poet Bobbi Rush. And now for the host of ITRS, BDJ.
Back for another episode of ITRS. It is I, your host, BDJ, aka BD from the county, aka the voice of county, aka I see the game like Romo, aka I see the game like Lamar, aka the EST of TWT. And for today's monologue, what we talking about? Teamwork. You know what I mean? You can see my guy in the background. He chilling. His old owners left him. I don't know what happened. They say weird stuff happens in nowhere. So hopefully we don't have any weird things happen during this episode. But a big thing that you want to emphasize, a big thing that you want to think about is teamwork, is community, is making sure your dog's straight and vice versa. I know it's been dope to me through doing this show the last couple, months at this point, right? So through the last couple months at this point, it's like just the love that we received. Like I know a lot of times creators, they look at like the views or the numbers or whatever it may be, but I look more so at the impact. I look more so at people being like, hey, I really like the interview you did here or the interview you did there, or I've been waiting to come on the show, or when I came on the show I had fun, I laughed, it didn't feel like a regular interview. So that being able to build that community and foster that community and being able to come into all these different spaces of writers, producers, authors, journalists, and just feel at home. I don't take it for granted. I know that's something I say a lot at the beginning of these episodes. I don't take it for granted, because if you haven't learned by now, I don't take none of this shit for granted. But yeah, it's just dope to see what we're building, and then across the fourth quarter, across the working title, what Score has been able to do with a lot of people that I've known for years have been able to do it, how we've all been able to stay in contact and still work and still grow and still foster this community. It's been dope. It's been dope for real. Also, 2 for 1 here. You may be wondering, like, hey, it's Black History Month. Y'all haven't done any, like, Black History shit, blah, blah, whoopie whoop. I feel like this, right? And while not to discredit any of our ancestors, not to discredit any of their milestones or achievements or dope things that have happened, I don't choose a month to recognize all those dope things, you know what I mean? I don't need the validation of a month to be like, there are Black people that weren't just entertainers and weren't just artists, that were scientists, that were just doing dope shit, archaeologists, whatever it may be. I don't need a month to validate that education. I don't need a month for that to be highlighted and spotlighted. One thing that I'm really proud of all of the platforms I'm a part of is that we make Black history, you know what I mean? We do Black history every day. We catalog it, we write it, we record it, we tweet it, we podcast, whatever it may be. All of the dope things happening, we have more full display for people to see for future generations. So while not to shit on Black History Month, just really make sure that you're taking note and being aware of the history taking place in this community every day. Great show coming up. Great guest. Listen, y'all gonna like this episode. That's all I'm gonna say. It felt real personal, felt real from the heart. And what's the other shit we always get off? Oh yeah, the shit that y'all conveniently forget about. If you have an advertisement, a small business, anything that you want to plug, you make the commercial, or maybe contact Score. Maybe he'll cut you a deal, make a commercial for you. We can put it right here. And when I land the break, we're back.
Yeah, I'm staying inside. Yeah, I'm staying inside. I'm staying inside. I'm staying.
Oh man, y'all sound so good. Y'all sound so beautiful. Listen, we're back. We have the lovely and talented D. Shay in the building. Had to make sure I said the shit right so she ain't jack me up after the interview. D. Shay, how you feeling?
I'm good. I'm good. Nice to meet you.
If you good, I'm good, because that's what makes a good interview. So I'm glad you're doing well. We was talking before before like we got started, and you had an interesting strategy that I feel like will help a lot of people when they like cram for tests or they end up overstressed and overwhelmed. Can you let the audience know what you do before a big test or exam to kind of make sure you in a good space?
So the day before my exam, I just like to have a chill day. Maybe get my nails done or massage or just chill before the exam so I won't be so uptight and stressed out.
That's fine. That's a fire strategy. Good self care. You know, if you feel your best, you do your best. And she out here being humble, but y'all looking at a great black pharmacist in the making. So she out here being humble. We're not here to talk about the pharmacy. We're not here to talk about her filming prescriptions. We're here to talk about her artistry because she is an artist. She had a project called 29. Very good EP. Made me wish it wasn't snowing outside. Maybe wish it was a little warm and I was a little less lonely. But that's a conversation for another episode. But Shay, how did you get started in music? What is your origin story? How did you get here?
Well, actually, it was a lot of years where I wasn't really in love with music anymore. I had a stint when I was young, whereas though everyone wanted me to sing everywhere, do everything, as far as singing at all the functions, and I was really known for singing. But once I graduated from high school from singing in the Baltimore City College Choir, I kind of lost the love for music, and I wasn't really good at writing at that time. I guess because I wasn't experienced. So I kind of put music on the back seat and just pursued my education. And then as time went on and I started to experience more things in life, have more things to reference, I realized that I had more things to talk about. As far as relationships or just trials and tribulations of being in your 20s and trying to find love. And it all started out as poetry. So I did poetry slams in elementary school with Lisa Williams. She really saw a light in me, whereas though I could formulate words. And I started to use that technique to write. And that's pretty much how I started to fall back in love with music again.
That's fire. And you said that people like they made you sing your whole life. Were you in like choirs and stuff growing up?
Yes, I was in choirs. I sung at every um like performance, even graduations, and elementary school, middle school. Most of my friends are artists. We went to American Idol. We went to The
Huh?
Voice. We went to.
Well,
I
like
went to
auditions
Apollo.
and shit?
I went to Apollo when I was 14. Actually, no, I was 16, and I came in second place. And my classmates at City, they really gave me a lot of, support with that. My choir director, Linda Hall, she really saw a light in my voice, and she really helped me strengthen my vocals. So she would have me sing and have solos, and it was really my avenue for music has always been open. I just never really took advantage of it.
Okay. And not just starting to take advantage of it, you feel like you're starting to kind of reap the fruits of that.
Yeah, because when you're young and you're trying to be an artist, when I was 16, I had a lot of opportunities to do artist development and meet a lot of great people. But when you're young, you sing what people want you to sing, or you
Yeah.
perform how you want to sing. I mean, how they want you to sing. And it was easier for me this time because I fund everything. I sung what I wanted to sing and how I wanted to sing it. And it wasn't really the pressure of trying to please somebody. It was just the pressure of really getting my message heard.
Yeah. Trying to do it for yourself more so. I feel you.
Yeah. So
What are your influences more like church or are they more so like old R&B or like old soul? Like what are your influences? Where do you draw upon for your sound these days?
let me cut this light on. I actually love soulful singers. My first love was actually Fantasia. I really fell in love with her because
You seen that in the American Idol audition?
yeah, I did. I used to sing a lot of her songs, but I liked her because she told a story, and once you can get the story, you can automatically just get the emotion. So I love Fantasia. And then right behind her was Jasmine Sullivan. She tells a story. She has so much passion in her voice. I love it. And Anita Baker was also my
Ooh,
favorite.
need
She's
it.
my favorite love songstress. She gets all in your feelings. And my choir director used to say, like, you want to set them up and then knock them down. So you want to kind of like, tell that story and then show your range and make them be like, oh my gosh, she can do this. So those singers, amongst many other singers, those are the ones that really kind of encourage me to sing and formulate how I sing.
Okay. When you think of Jasmine Sullivan's new album, just curious.
Love it. I love it. I love it. She's very talented. Love her.
Yeah, definitely. So
But my inspiration was Summer Walker, though. Really.
Okay, I can hear that.
Yeah,
I
my
can definitely hear that.
inspiration was Summer Walker, Tiana Taylor, and her on this EP. It was definitely them. A lot of people know me to sing large ranges and sing real strong and powerful, but I wanted it to be a vibe, and those singers just create a vibe without even having to belt out the songs, and that was the inspiration behind the writing and the performance. Yeah.
I feel that. It kind of changes the thing about good music, whether it be singing, whether it be excuse me, instrumentation, whether it be whatever it is, it changes the energy of the room. You know what I mean? It changes it takes whatever you feeling and it flips it into whatever they want you to feel, whatever they trying to put across. So I definitely feel that. I wanted to ask you though, because I Score, my producer, he sent me a little note that you all actually went to high school together.
Yep, we went to school. We definitely did.
What was
and I was on choir.
What was a 16-year-old scoreswayze like?
Jesus Christ.
I'm sure he was amazing. We really didn't have a lot of time to meet and talk. High school has so many different realms and groups, and but I know he rap, right? He does like production, music, beats, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but yeah, I'm sure he was amazing.
All right, we safe for now. He made a face like he wasn't in fact amazing, and you say he was amazing. I'm sure it was amazing. You're funny as shit. So with the EP, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask you, I guess question number one I have is, are you crazy? Are you crazy?
You know what? Everybody keep asking me that. That's funny. Actually, okay. I am.
Okay.
I'm an Aquarius.
Give me a round of applause for self-awareness. I'm an Aquarius too.
And so you know that when we love you, we love you, and when you do us wrong, it gets crazy. And that song is really my favorite song, actually.
Really?
Because that's when I did my best penmanship, I feel like. And it's very real and it's very true.
I like a bird. I think that's my favorite song right now.
You know what? A Bird was the first song that I wrote. The first song that I wrote that gave me the idea to I'm just gonna do this EP now, because I was sitting on my mom's porch and I was just so sad and filled with so much emotion. I had just, ended a situationship with somebody that I thought, I was gonna be with, and I got to the point where I wasn't so much angry. I was just like, I just want to be something that doesn't have to feel emotion, like a fish, a bird. So I just started to just do poetry, and that's why the song is really repetitive. I never say anything different. It's just the whole thing over and over and over again, just repeating it, because it's like a chant. It's just kind of like healing and restoration. But A Bird is, I would say a lot of people like that song. It's actually the other end of the spectrum for crazy.
Maybe that's why I like it, because Aquarius. I'm more so that's like my whole way, man. I'm happy.
Laid back.
I'm mad. So it's one of those.
Same.
So what's next? What you got?
A lot of people like A Bird.
Yeah, they love us.
I actually don't have anything. Well, I want to start doing performances. I do want to write more songs. A lot of people have been reaching out to me to write for their their project, which is different for me, because when I write, it has to be something I can relate to. Because I like to be vulnerable in my writing, because I'm not really a vulnerable person on a natural day. So writing makes me more vulnerable.
Yeah.
But as far as what's coming up, I'm not really quite sure. I've been surprised every step of the way. I've had like 600 people listen to my music in like 11 days, and every day is like 72 people listening to my music, and I'm just like, it's just little old me. Like, I'm super surprised. It wasn't supposed to. It was just supposed to be something, a gift to myself for my birthday. That's why it represents the ending of one chapter and the beginning of a new chapter, which is 29. You about to end your 20s and into your 30s, and that was just a birthday present for me. I didn't even expect all these opportunities.
Okay. So let's put it this way then, since there's nothing concrete right now. If we sit down, it's February 11, 2021. If we sit down February 11, 2022, what's one thing that you hope that you'll have crossed off your list? And it could be music, it could be person, it could be whatever.
As far as music, I really want to sing my music on a tiny desk.
Ooh,
Like,
that's
if I
fire.
could do that, that would be just like, the best thing. It's just one show, I think, one live vibe or something that I've been thinking about going on that I wanted to perform on. But if I could, say what could have transpired from now and then, it would definitely be me singing on a tiny desk.
That's fire. Well, listen, my guy Courage, he in the background, he looking tired. So we gonna wrap up so my guy can get his nap in. I'm sorry, Courage.
Right.
But listen, let the people know where they can find you. Let them know where to stream you at. Anything that anyone needs to know that's watching this, anything they need to know to get hip to you, let them know right now.
Okay, so you can follow me at Red Roses _20 on Instagram. And then under my name, Shay Red on Facebook. And my music 29 is on all platforms right now. Amazon, Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, everywhere. So you can follow it and just let me know how you feel. I want you to get real personal with my music as your own, because it really is like spoken words from like a hopeless romantic lover.
Aw. Listen, appreciate you. Stop back through anytime. On the other
Thank
end of
you.
the break, we got Bobby Rush on the way. Stay tuned. Hopefully your advertisement will be here in the middle. If it's not, I don't know what to tell you. Score has been asking for y'all to get y'all advertisements, but thank you to the Shay.
ITRS is brought to you by Swayze TV. It's just fucking television. And Working Title Podcast. Catch all new episodes 11 a.m. every Monday morning. Back to the show.
You're a little late on the applause Score. We gonna give you a pass. Listen, when you're here, and I can feel the energy. I can feel the energy through the screen, man. This next guest she's cool as shit. I only talked to her for the 2 minutes before we did the pre-show interview, but I can tell you right now, she's cool as shit. And from looking at her long list of accolades, Renaissance woman might be an appropriate term, but again, she's cool as shit. I welcome to y'all the one, the only Bobbi Rush.
Oh, thank you.
And, like, this cool as shit. How did you get so cool? Were you always this cool, or?
I don't know. I don't know. It's a weird question to answer. Hey, though, I think I'm good.
I feel you. I know for me, I became cool. It was a gradual process. I used to be actually a dork.
Mhm.
But it was because I didn't know myself. Once I really started learning myself and who I was and what made me happy and feel fulfilled, that's when I started to do things that served that purpose. And that's when people started being like, yo, you so cool. And I was like, I'm just me.
I feel that. That definitely would make a person cool. Them really getting to know themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you realize it's like,
Yeah.
oh, the coolest thing I could be is fully me. I can't do no other shit. I can't talk like Score. He scored. Oh, yeah, I'm Score. And so the rest of the studio, and I can't pull out like you. I didn't like that. Fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, it just comes from yourself. But as you know or may not know, every interview on this program begins with an origin story. So this is your
Okay.
time to take the floor and let us know not the birth of Cool, but the birth of you.
The birth of me. My mother gave birth to me October 29th, 1991
Okay, literally.
in Baltimore. Yep. I began my work at the age of 5, singing in my father's church. I did my solo background work at the age of, officially at the age of 18. And I've been working in that space up until maybe 23 years old. And then I started doing solo art, maybe around like 24, 25. Yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a lot in those, in that time span, I'll say. A lot of grooming, a lot of learning and unlearning, still unlearning and still learning right now too. But all in all, a very exciting time, I'd say.
Can we harp on that a little bit? Because so outside of my job as a phenomenal interview host and podcast host, I work for an organization called Black Yield Institute. And
Mhm.
our big thing is Black land and food sovereignty. That's our mission statement, Black land and food sovereignty. But
Yeah.
a big part of that and a big part of my work in that role is undoing. A big part of that is like the first day we came in, it was like, well, we want to have you have orientation, but we want to undo kind of what you think work should look like or work should feel like. And in that process, I've had to undo, just being an adult, you got to undo what you eat because you think that it's cool to eat McDonald's 5 times a week. You got to undo how you think because you think it's cool to just, I don't know, talk shit or shit on people or whatever it may be. So, what are some things that you don't, if you don't mind sharing, that you've undone or are working through undoing?
Hmm. The main thing that I've been undoing and have undone, I'll say maybe like maybe 80% or 85%
Okay, B plus.
undone is my Christianity belief that I was brought up in. I think that is a huge mind fuck for Black individuals as they progress in life, because it'll leave you very dependent on something that doesn't exist, and it'll have you not even seeing yourself, understanding yourself, listening to yourself. And that's why we're always so fucked up. So that has been like the main thing. Thank goodness. Um, I've been undoing my idea of relationships and like love shit. It's hard to say how right now because I'm still like in the thick of it, but because it's such a pillar in my life, like one of those big things. That's the next thing that I have to mention outside of
Yeah,
the church shit. Um,
I like how
but
you
it's
put that.
yeah. But there are lots of things that I'm unlearning.
Yeah,
Eating habits, how to even pace myself with my own work and not be in such
that's a
a
big
rush
one.
as long as I'm doing the work will get done and I don't have to rush to do it. I can timely do things well. Um, so many things for real.
Yeah, for real. We could sit here
Mhm.
for hours talking about all the shit that needs to be undone or
For
that
real.
we can undo. But let's go again. This is an interview to celebrate you. Let's talk about you. I'm gonna go through some cool accolades and you just stop me.
Okay.
Working with New Love Fest 2. Sorry. Shout out to John Tyler.
Shout out
Sapphire. Short
Josh.
film.
Josh Stokes is actually my brother.
Really?
Um, mhm. And watching him put together that festival, we had the first one, and it was just as incredible. So hearing him talk about building the second one and how much bigger his production was going to be, it was like, damn, this shit is great. The whole North Avenue was packed. I mean, it was such a beautiful night. You had to be there. It was one of those things where it's
Which I
like, yo,
was there. Oh.
yeah. Yes.
That's dope though. Let's talk about Sapphire.
Sapphire.
Short film.
Oh, Sapphire Bleeding Gems. Wow. That song is so special to me. My brother actually produced that track. When I heard it, I was just like, oh my God. I was looking for something new to say in my music. I was in a place where I'm like, I'm tired of singing about fucking love songs. Like, I don't care about my broken heart, and as that relates to like men or women, I'm not concerned with that. Like, what higher can I speak of that caters to my heart, that caters to how I actually love outside of, this brokenheartedness, you know what I'm saying? And that was like the ultimate for me. We did a short film we kind of shot it guerrilla style. And it was basically just a ritual about death and rebirth. Dying to what simply does not fit anymore. Not that it can't work or it didn't, but it served its purpose. And, what can we do new or just differently this go around? So Sapphire is my baby.
And I feel like that idea of rebirth is incredibly timely right now because we're seeing just in our world a lot of, whether it be patterns of thinking, whether it be institutions, whether it be just, I don't know, we're just seeing a lot of things kind of be reborn or be changed or be reimagined. So it's just right on the nose. It's a sentiment that's right on the head. And as we, as we go deeper into the age of Aquarius, shout out my dogs. It's gonna be a lot more. It's gonna be a lot more of that. Like, you've been giving me bread with cheese on top for a couple of years and telling me it's pizza, but I don't know. I don't think that's really pizza. I think you just giving me some bullshit that's bread with cheese and ketchup. And I think that the real pizza is. I think that I can just get up and go get the real pizza. You know what I mean? So
Feel that.
yeah. So it's dope to see you pouring into that idea and embodying that idea. You're an author.
Yes, I'm an author. I'm an author of 3 books, self-published.
Ooh, can we get some
Hey, thank you. Thank you. The first one is titled Words, Feeling Feelings. That was basically just my breakout to get over the idea that sharing my thoughts is like a scary thing. It dealt with a lot of loss. It dealt with a lot of, I think, confusion for a young woman at that time, myself being a young woman. A lot of inspiration from either friends who were losing or mainly really just myself, for real. I was in a weird relationship at the time, not even a weird relationship. It was one of those relationships where you are just being taught a lesson. And it was very hard for me at the time. And so really books and writing and performing really saved my life around that moment. And putting this book out was just really special for me. My second book that I put out is titled Pussy. It's more prose than anything. Like, I'm just saying stuff, and I'm saying it very matter of fact as it pertains to women who identify as women, who value pussy, who value tits and ass and growth and, growing up girl. That's basically what it focuses on. It talks about honoring, the body,
Courage, cover your ears.
I have one statement where I say, do not trust man, free bleed instead. And it means, when you come on your period, just bleed, be in your natural state. But also outside of the whole physical application of that, it's like, don't trust these niggas, believe in your intuition, nurture that voice, follow that voice, and fuck whatever else is happening around you, because that's not where you're being guided. So that's what Pussy is mainly speaking about. And then my very recent publish was titled Language of the Crow. such a sweet moment for me. I felt more me in that writing. I felt sure about what I was writing. I felt way more healed in that writing. I've been staying with my family around that time and, just kind of kicking it. It's when the world kind of shut down, but it was still summertime. So we were still out. And I just had a chance to like be in the grass, chill on the porch, watch people watching me, and really just take in what I was feeling and what I wanted to say. And Language of the Crow is one of my most special pieces right now, I'll say. Thank you for mentioning that.
It's my job, literally.
Mm.
Do you feel like you're growing or still evolving or still elevating as a writer, or do you feel like it's the same? I guess my question is this, because I'm also I got my start as a writer too, like both creative and nonfiction, but I feel like it got to a point where my writing kind of plateaued, and then I had to step away from it for a few years consistently. And then when I came back, it was like, oh, I have a whole new voice now. I have a whole new like. It's like before I was Batman with no gadgets. Now I'm Batman with a full utility belt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So do you feel like you're still growing and evolving as a writer, or do you feel like it's more so a natural progression of I'm this person and I'm getting better at articulating it?
I'll probably say both. I have some sense of who I am as a writer or just as a voice, how I feel about things. But I also know that I'm definitely still learning and evolving as well. So that voice, I'm sure it'll be still rooted in its core thing, but I think the voice will kind of expand a bit more. At least I'm hoping that it will. I would like for it to.
That's dope. Tell me a little bit about the Blueface project.
I am the creative director here at the Blueface Project. I started it. It came to me in the year 2015. I solidified it on paper, in 2017. What we do first is just a home base for all of my works. Like my writing is under the Blueface Project, my music, my designs that I do is under the Blueface Project. We're kind of getting out more as far as working with children, just creatively. We yell, we scream, we paint, we sing, we talk to one another. We kind of just do arts and crafts basically, but in an environment where it's like you can literally just do what you feel. I'm here to make sure you don't run into any sharp corners and, bring a little bit focus back into the place. But that is what the Blueface Project does, at least right now. I'm hoping to keep expanding that, keep growing, but really it's just a place for me right now.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Where does the name
Thank
stem
you.
from?
It stems from me. I was drawing one time and I call it a self-portrait, and it was like just a blue faced thing. And it felt like me. I feel like if I were a color, I would be blue naturally.
My next question was going to be, what's next for Bobbi Rush?
What's next for me? I'll probably get a little rest and read a little bit, tighten up on
Get you some tea.
prayer life. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know what you said.
And just chill.
That's so damn good, resting and just.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely always working on content and writing down ideas, putting out ideas and things like that. But I think before I actually start to share that stuff, I'll just sit with it for a little while and just worry about me right now. I've done a lot of serving over the years. I just realized this myself. And I'm like, yo, you don't really be chilling for real. Like you don't be chilling the fuck out. Like you are
I
constantly
feel like you're reading me right now.
for real. Like, and it's something I like to do. I love to do, so I will do it. And I think because I will do it, I have to make sure that I, balance it out with a little downtime too. So that's what's next.
Well, shit, and I pray you find peace, find balance, and just continue to be successful.
Getting there. I appreciate that.
Well, thank you for having me. Damn,
Yes.
took over my whole show. Thank me. What am I trying to say? Score words are kicking my ass again. We almost got through one. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you for being on a lovely platform. I don't know. My interviews tend to be a little high energy, a little up there sometimes. So you brought a nice, cool, calm, I would say blueness to us. A nice sense of just exhale, my nigga. So,
Appreciate for sure.
So listen, next week, we don't know who's gonna be on here next week, so you just gotta tune in and watch.
Yep.
Bobbi, let the people know where they can find you, all your social medias or whatever they need to know.
Okay. You can find me on Instagram at the Blueface Project. You can support my work at thebluefaceproject.com. I have there my books, my jewelry designs. You can also follow that page, WIAMF_. It's called Water is a Motherfucker. Thebluefaceproject.com is where you can support with your money and send love if you just want to do that too. I'll take all of it. But yeah, that's me.
Bye. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode. Y'all stay safe. Like I said, we don't know who's gonna be on next week, so just tune in next week. Just make sure y'all get some rest.
Yeah.